let's come to your team, Manchester United. When they signed Ronaldo, I made this video and I asked, is Ronaldo actually going to help or ruin the team? And now he wants to leave, but no club is willing to sign him. So like he's staying at the club
No,
against
no,
his will.
that isn't accurate. No club that is well touted. I hope you heard about the Saudi splashing cash and saying, "Come, we're
We're
going to give
talking
you our
about
back."
teams. We're talking about teams that
Yeah,
would actually win a
no, she
Champions
is.
League. No Champions League team wants
Fine.
him.
And then Atletico, for example, to be fair, made some
Yeah.
choices. But of course, it would have been awkward. I mean, I can't imagine Atletico lining up in the Madrid derby and then a Madrid legend is playing against them, and all of that. So I'm not one of those people who feel that Ronaldo was a bad addition. I feel that people are glossing over a situation whereby um, uh, Solskjaer, who many people might not praise his tactics and stuff, but somehow he kept that locker room somewhat united. And again, I mean, his last 2 seasons weren't bad at all. So when he left, I feel everything just unraveled. And I'm not sure. I think that Ragnick did such a stellar job. Look, people say he's caretaker and all that, but I remember the days when Gus Hiddink was like the go-to guy, you know, for that whole caretaker manager thing. And
Hmm.
you see the way he will rev up a team, and like they will just do stuff. And Ragnick didn't do that. And a lot of people, I mean, Ronaldo still did 19 Premiership goals. And I feel that, look, I think we should stop saying, oh, players felt bad. And I mean, they collect their salary. If they're professionals, they ought to bring their A game and, well, help the club.
When Gus Hiddink comes in to caretake,
Yes.
he always has this attitude of what's the worst that could happen,
Yes.
right? So that gives him a little bit of latitude to do whatever he wants, and add that energy to galvanize folks. But I felt like Ragnick was actually low key trying to audition for the permanent um, position. So he was a little bit more reserved. It was a little bit more conservative in the way he did things, hoping that if he can help United get
I
to the
don't think
fourth,
so.
maybe they will
I don't
consider
think
him
so. I don't think
for
so
the job.
because remember, everybody felt that, okay, look, he was going to be caretaker definitely for only this season, and then he will take an advisory type role
Yeah.
afterwards. Now, I feel that he saw an opportunity to be out there and then audition for another job, which, as you
Hmm.
see, he got.
You
You
got
know,
yeah.
yeah. So because look, at a particular time he was coming out and only talking about the things that were wrong with the squad. I mean, really. I mean, seriously. Now you have only one job. I mean, it's almost as if he didn't have terms of office like deliverables. Where people will say, "Look, okay, we are some points behind, but we can." I didn't see that from him. In fact, many times it was Ronaldo that seemed to wheel, the team on. I mean, the match against Tottenham, because, well, let's not lie, Tottenham is a dangerous team, and then we won that by just sheer Ronaldoism, so to speak. I felt Ragnick really should have brought more to the. I'm sorry, I put much of the blame of last season because in the end, the buck stops at the manager's table. If you needed help or whatever in January, you could have done, some really serious signings that could help just get that team over the line and stay in the Champions League places. But alas,
But he
but
didn't have the time
go
though. I
for it.
mean, I think Ole left around November, right? Or
Yes,
October. Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah.
so you need to give him time to be able to know what he needs before the window shuts down in January.
Don't forget that Ragnick came highly recommended. Let's not lie to
Yeah, but
ourselves.
that doesn't mean he know what goes on inside the house.
No, but
I
hold
thought he
on.
was overhyped.
Even club
He
Most
needed
of
was
them
time.
overhyped. He was overhyped.
overhyped, I
And
think.
one, I would think that you see, because I feel, I mean, the job he had was as basically as an administrator. And I would think that, look, I mean, this is the guy who supposedly inspired the likes of Churchill, and as
Klopp.
Klopp.
And
I mean, I feel that if you were really on top of your game and were ambitious about the job, even when they were consulting you, you would have been doing one or two things, and then you
it was never going to be an easy job, though.
And sorry, one thing I'll say, and then to me, the biggest sign, and for me, about where Man U was as a team and as a culture, was when they bought Ronaldo, not because they wanted to buy Ronaldo, but because Man City was going to buy him.
But Man City wanted him.
And then they had the deal. To me, that shows, hang on a minute, Man U of before, things are carefully considered and laid out. It's not like, a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
You're signing a player of that caliber basically on a reaction, not whether it's what you needed, whether it's a long-term buy, because he clearly was not a long-term buy. And so I see elements of that as being part of, I think, Man U's issues. And that's why I went back to saying that anytime he might be a good manager, he could turn it around, but I think he needs time to establish his own.
Well, Ole was sort of a yes man. Let's not lie about that.
Correct. Correct.
Under the Glazers, he was contorting himself. Let's not lie. So,
I agree.
Well, the Ronaldo bit, yeah, I mean, I get that. But thankfully, well, I would say that we have some sort of new era, so to speak, and it's not necessarily Glazer heavy, because I would think, I mean, the only disappointing thing I feel, but I can see sense in it, is keeping Maguire as captain.
Harry Maguire.
Hey, calm down.
Harry Maguire.
Okay, I know. Yeah, but all the same, to me, that looks like someone who is going to have a mind of his own, and not pander whether too much to fans or whatever, and really try to do what he believes is best for the club, is best for the team. Even bringing in Lisandro Martinez, for example, if you notice, he's shifted him to the left, where Maguire used to be, because, well, I feel that that's where he feels the guy is best at. So we do need to offload some of those defenders, before.
Yeah, Tellez is already gone today, and then Jones is probably not going to get much game time. So, yeah, I can see that. Why is
Phil Jones even still going to even have game time? I'm sorry. I know he's professional. He needs to be family. Why? I mean, the only thing the guy is for teams. Why?
But that just goes to what I was saying. You still need, your team still needs a bit of pruning, a bit of change around. You still, at least another season. That's what I was saying. That there's still bits of like Harry Maguire. And funny enough about Harry Maguire, I think there's a confidence issue with that guy. I don't think it was that bad previously.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair to Ole, right? Look, I wasn't the biggest Ole fan, but somehow, every time the team then goes on a terrible run, there's a way they bounced back. And I feel that that's because he had the locker room somehow under the control and stuff like that. Some really good games from Harry Maguire. I'm not going to lie about that. But last season, oh my goodness, it was an absolute disaster. And it didn't help that Varane himself then had, well, of course, he would obviously need to bed down.
Can I correct you? While it was a disaster for Man U, he was a blessing for social media. The memes were brilliant.
The game that on given.
Okay, so do you think it's going to get complicated with Ronaldo staying against his will, or somehow he's just going to manage?
I don't think it'll be complicated. Ronaldo is a professional. He will be Ronaldo. He will still bang in many goals. I don't think it'll be complicated. The only difference that I feel will affect that chemistry is a little bit. If United start losing a game or two here and there, and Ronaldo is scoring but they're still losing, then
Yeah.
there might be some issue, you know. But as long Ronaldo is a professional, I mean, there is no doubting his ability. There is no doubting his commitment when he's ready to commit.
Which is
He
what
will try to.
I always remind people. Ronaldo, to be fair to the man, is a professional.
He's a professional.
I mean,
Yeah.
people.
But
You know, there's always this.
to
What?
me, the danger with Ronaldo
Yes.
is
Yes.
the fact that he's such a professional. He's a high performer. Now,
Yes.
high performers in low performing teams, after a while, they will start getting angry at the other.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If the team start losing here and there, it is going to be the dynamite, the last stick on the dynamite for him. If the team starts, especially if it's performing and everyone else is not pulling their weights, there's gonna be some interesting thing going on there. So, but we're yet to see that.
I feel that because Erik is new on the job, there's a lot of pressure, and this is hoping that the class of 92 will please just lay off Erik. Please just let him have, make his mistakes and stuff like that. I don't want to be hearing stuff from Scholes or whoever. Please. Now, if Erik, who has won titles in Ajax and all of that, I feel the guy is ambitious, wants to make a name for himself, most likely will put a lot of trust in youth. I like, for example, that Van de Beek is back. I feel there is stuff that guy can do in that squad. If things go well, I feel Ronaldo would only be the icing on the cake. And I feel that by and large, if Ronaldo would just also get out of Erik's way and simply calm down and play to the managers, whatever, I don't see any problem. Like I said, the fact that we are being underrated right now and the pressure is much lower, that's fine for me, and I think it can only work. So look, watch out for us.
Okay.
No, the thing is not about Ronaldo not being a high performer, but when he's playing now, most players, instead of doing it themselves, they tend to pass the ball to him. So based on individual performance of the players,
I feel Eriksen is going to buck that. I'm sorry, Eriksen had always been even when so I know that he had his own troubles, with Pochettino and all of that. But I feel that, so again, we lack leaders, essentially, at least last season, when we really needed to. And it was a bit one kind for Ronaldo and all of that. I feel that Eriksen could be that calming influence, both on the pitch, off the pitch, and so that everybody else can then optimize whatever they need to have. What I am saying, so I know Eni has praised Martial and stuff, but I really hope those guys, because for me, when the chips are down, first of all, I am about graft, a bit more than craft. And then beyond that, mentality is everything. You might not have the most, skillful players and all of that. And I feel that ultimately that is what somehow Arsenal has lacked over time. Because during Wenger's days, I mean, there were leaders everywhere on the pitch. There was Campbell there was Vieira, Henry was doing stuff, Pires was doing stuff. I mean, leadership for me. And thankfully, I'm sorry, Pogba lovers, I'm happy Pogba is out. So that we can have some calmness, man, in the middle of the park. We can have some consistency in the middle of the park. And then we can then go on there and do the things we need to do. Of course, the issue of defensive midfielders is still there. Good Lord knows that between Scott and Pastor Fred, in the most high-profile, high-pressure games, my heart is always doing bim bim. But we'll see how it goes. I'm just praying that our productivity can ratchet up, and we can really, really get very productive and then take our chances. Mason Greenwood was shaping up to be like one of the most the deadliest finisher that we had for some time. But yeah, his village people decided to wake
The
up
less
one.
the less we talk about him, the better.
Yeah. So I feel Sancho is coming to the party as well.
Mhm.
So I'm just generally excited about our midfield. I'm excited about it because mentality, leadership, we still need that. And I'm hoping that, so I feel that Ten Hag didn't want instability, like Annie was trying to point out. So maybe he's kept Maguire as captain so that there won't be grumbling here and there, then factions again. He just wants to see how things will go. And I'm hoping that Harry can repay his faith by getting everybody to row in the right direction. Again, it's always better to have Ronaldo than not to have him. But even he will just have to step back, listen to the manager, and get with the program. I
Yeah,
like the low
absolutely.
expectations, Sha. I like that.